Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone Air and compare it against the iPhone 16e and see which particular iPhone is a better one for you. Now, in almost every single way, the iPhone Air is probably going to be the better type of iPhone. This one is going to be giving you better type of capability. It's going to be giving you just a better type of phone overall, but it's also almost twice the price of an iPhone 16e. So let's go ahead and see which one is going to be the better one for you for the most part. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these particular iPhones, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular devices. The iPhone 16e came out originally not too long ago. It came out this particular year, so it's not even a year old. It's probably like 6 or 7 months old. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. And the thing with the iPhone 16e is that this one on the front is giving you a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. And the thing with this panel is that it's a 60 Hz display, so it's not anything super crazy, right? It also doesn't really get super bright either. And I do feel like for the most part, if you're going to go through and pick up a particular panel, this one is going to be pretty much, an average type of panel. It's almost like an iPhone 14 panel in today's standards, which for some people might not be that big of a deal, but for others it might be kind of annoying because you're actually going through and buying a phone that's $600, and it's not like this thing's a cheap phone, and the panel feels like it's from like a 3 or 4 year old used iPhone. So that is a little bit of a downside. Maybe it's not the biggest deal in the world, but depending on who you are, you might feel like that is a little bit of a downside when you're going through and picking up a device like this. So kind of keep that in mind as you're kind of looking at this particular iPhone, where the iPhone Air, this one is a little bit of a better type of experience, as you can imagine. This one's going to be giving you a significantly better and nicer 6.5-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So the thing with this panel, and the thing that's really nice about this type of phone, is that it's going to be giving you a significantly better phone in almost every single way. So this type of panel is essentially going to be giving you a bigger display, a way brighter display at 3000 nits of peak brightness, which is massive, and you're getting 120 Hz, you're getting a dynamic island, and it's an always-on display at that as well. So those are some really, really important aspects to kind of keep in mind here within a device like this. So if you're in the market and you're going to go through and pick up a particular phone, well, it might be nice to be able to go through and buy a device like this that's going to be giving you that type of capability. So just from that perspective alone too, that is kind of one of those important things to keep in mind there from that side. Maybe it's not the biggest deal in the world, but definitely you're getting a way nicer panel inside of the iPhone Air. You're getting USB Type-C ports on the bottom of both these phones, which is always great. Now the iPhone Air is much thinner than the iPhone 16e. So you're getting a much thinner type of phone inside of the iPhone, Air, which is really cool. I love having that type of capability inside of that type of phone. And that is going to be one of those really nice things going on for that type of device when it comes down to it. Now, on top of that, you're also going to be able to go through and still maintain and get USB Type-C ports on the bottom of both. On the back side, single cameras on the back of both of them. You're getting your frosted glass back. You're getting your MagSafe capability on the iPhone Air. The iPhone 16e does not have any sort of MagSafe capability. So keep that kind of in mind there as well. And you're probably overall getting, just a better type of experience and a better type of phone from the iPhone Air. In almost every single way you can imagine, you're going to be getting a significantly better type of experience and a significantly better type of just device in general on the iPhone Air than the iPhone 16e. So if you're going to go through and pick up a device of some sort, then definitely the iPhone Air is probably going to be the better one for you, but it's also $1,000. The iPhone Air costing that much might be a little bit more to spend for a lot of people than the iPhone 16e at $599. And in the used market, the iPhone 16e is probably going to cost even cheaper than that. So that is, again, just one of those minor things to keep in mind there from that perspective. From the camera side, this is also another one of those really important things here. The iPhone Air and the iPhone 16e both have a single camera setup on the backside, but they're slightly different. The 16e is giving you that 12 megapixel camera on the back, and then it's giving you that, 2-in-1 camera on the, so it's a 12 megapixel camera on the front, 2-in-1 camera on the back, kind of the same type of camera on the back side. There's not really anything super crazy going on here. The iPhone Air does give you a little bit of a nicer type of camera as far as I can tell, but it's not really even going to be that big of a difference on that back camera besides giving you that dual capture because they both support 1x and 2x zoom. The thing with the iPhone Air though on the front side is that it does actually give you a really nice feature, which is essentially that cinematic and the center stage capability on the front side. So that is a really nice feature set to have inside of the iPhone Air. The 16e doesn't have it. In fact, pretty much no other iPhone has it besides the 17s and the iPhone Air. So that is a really, really nice thing to have inside of that type of device when it comes down to it. So I will tell you the iPhone Air's camera is definitely going to be significantly better in almost every single way here over than something like an iPhone 16e. So if you're trying to get the better camera here, it's definitely going to be something like an iPhone, Air when it comes down to it. Now, on top of that, I think another really important aspect of these types of phones too is that with something like an iPhone 16e, this type of phone and the iPhone Air are probably going to be supported with software for several more years now. So it's not like one device is going to last like significantly way longer than the other one. They're both going to be supported with software for several more years. You don't really have that much to worry about there when it comes down to that software perspective. So they're both going to be here for many, many more years to come. And I feel like that right there is also another one of those important things to keep in mind here as well. Battery life wise, the iPhone Air is going to be giving you, estimated battery life that Apple says on their website is about 27 hours of video playback, where the iPhone 16e is about 26 hours of video playback. So kind of keep that in mind, right? Like if you're trying to get the device that's going to be giving you a better experience here, then definitely something like an iPhone 16e, it's not really that far off from something like an iPhone Air. So if you're trying to get the phone that's going to be giving you that better type of experience, I'm going to be honest, the iPhone Air's battery life is only like 1 hour better on Apple's own website than the iPhone 16e. Now, I've done my own test. The 17 does last longer than the Air, but if the Air only lasts like an hour longer than the 16e, the battery life is not really that big of a difference there. So that right there is probably just one of those other minor small things to keep in mind there, maybe. When it comes down to some other areas of these devices too, like when it comes down to their performance, the 16e, you have to remember, this is going to be one of those types of devices that are essentially going to be a little bit, maybe, they're both going to be so fast that it's not even funny. You're probably not going to notice too many big massive differences between the performance side. So the iPhone 16e is giving you the A18 chipset inside with 8 gigs of RAM. The iPhone Air is giving you the A19 Pro chipset inside, which is a really nice chipset. That's a very fast, very capable type of chipset to have inside of a device. So that is kind of a nice thing to have there, right? But I will be honest, if you're kind of going through and picking up a phone like this, you're still going to be feeling like you're getting a very fast, capable phone from a majority of different devices that you go and pick up. So once again, I don't want to give the impression that this type of device is going to be the fastest and the only fast phone. Both these are going to be very fast, but you're not really going to be feeling like you're getting a super slow phone from either one of these either. The iPhone Air will definitely feel faster because it is going to be giving you that, Pro Motion display. So that will just naturally make that phone feel a lot faster when it comes down to it. So to kind of sum it up, what I definitely will tell you is that the iPhone Air is definitely probably one of those phones that I look at as probably being still a really good option for the everyday average person, right? It's a great phone, but it's just so expensive at $1,000 that I just don't think it's worth the money, if that makes sense. It's such a good phone, but it's just so expensive. It just doesn't make sense to buy it. Whereas on something like the iPhone 16e, this phone is cheaper, but I feel like you're lacking so many things that a normal iPhone should have that even that phone just doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy from that type of perspective either. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to go and buy that type of device when it comes down to it. So personally for me, when it kind of comes down to these types of devices, I personally think something like an iPhone 16e also isn't worth it. I'd probably recommend buying something like a used iPhone 16 Pro or a used iPhone 15 Pro. I feel like those ones would make a lot more sense to buy rather than these ones. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.